Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another Skytear Horde playthrough. So it's been a while, but campaign's just delivered, and so I kind of wanted to play through the campaign sort of setup. Basically, you can string together 4 games and make it like a mini campaign, and it says the campaign plays from 1 to 2 hours, so we'll see if we can finish one. I'm not very good at the game, so I'm not getting too far in them, but I'll kind of show you how it's structured. And we'll kind of go from, we'll just do as much as we can, and then I'll kind of talk about those things. So, the way the campaign is structured, I've got the rule book open, just be making sure that whatever I'm saying makes a lot of sense, is we're supposed to take 3 different Horde decks. And so the 3 Horde decks we're using are the Undead from the original set, the Monoliths from the Monolith set, and then the Animatrek. Or Animerks from the campaign set. So it says to take 3 Horde decks, and it says form the Horde deck using cards from all 3 Hordes of the campaign, and then you may choose between the 5 difficulties as usual, but never take cards with the black symbol, not even on the highest difficulty. So from that, when it's saying that, I don't know if it means to take the entirety of it or the true Horde deck, depending on the difficulty's set number of cards. So for level 1, that's what we're going to be doing. It says 9 cards. So I can't tell which one is which, so I'm just going to shuffle up the cards and make a deck of 9. I think that's fine. Because it just says Horde deck. It says form the Horde deck using cards from all 3. I don't know if it's the whole stack or not. Although I think it would be the whole stack, because maybe it is the whole stack. You just use the colors. I'm going to use the whole deck. So we've shuffled that up. We've done that. The other thing we're going to do is we have gold, so we can buy cards in between rounds. And we start with a deck of 20 cards. So I've got the pre-constructed blue deck for the campaign's expansion, which is called the Leothan Zealots. So I've got a 20 card deck of that. It has my 2 purple Mystic cards and the 18 base cards, and the rest of the cards are here. In between games, we can draft cards from that stack, and then we also have 4 portals and 6 scenario cards. Now, you can randomize the portals and the scenario cards, but the portals are, there's a portal for each Horde, and then there's 2 scenario cards per each Horde. So I've got the scenario cards, all 6 scenario cards for the 3 Hordes, and then I've got 3 of the portals plus another random portal for the 4th. So we'll shuffle that up, and we'll take those. The way the campaign's structured, the first game we're going to be fighting the portal. Effectively, that's the outsider. So once the portal is defeated, we win that game. The second and third game, on the back of the scenario cards, are these henchmen outsiders. And then when they're defeated, we win that game. And then the final game is very similar to a regular game where we have a main outsider, and that's who we're going to take out. So we've got some trackers here. This is for our gold for the campaign. There is a dial, but because of the way the gold works, it's easier for me to track it this way. Our castle is the Blackfin, so 20. We can exhaust it and pay a mana. You may play a heroic ally from your discard pile as if it were from your hand, and then the ally exhausts and gains -3 attack on play, -3 temporary attack. So it'll come in a bit weakened. The way the game starts as well, we give each of the minions, not every minion gets 1 health, only 2 of them do for solo. So let's grab one of the scenarios here. We're just going to take the one off the top. And the way that this works, and we'll take the top portal here. So our portal is going to be the Animerk, and they've come in with armor 2. And the way that the portals now work, they've changed them from monoliths, is that there's 2 numbers at the top, and each number, the top number is the wave number, which is how many cards you draw from the Horde deck, and then the bottom number is the reinforced number, which gives the minions more stuff. So let's give it its armor 2, and it's going to start with 4 health. We're going to start here. We start the game with 10 gold, so I'm going to place that there. Here's the other gold tracker. And the way the scenarios work is we've got a little bit of flavor text. So the smoke of the furnace was burning their eyes. The smell of broken metal, scratching their lungs. I'm reading it through the computer screen. We're doomed. We are lost and surrounded. No, grinned Koi in a mocking tone. We will turn this maze of scraps into our favor. Let's create a series of blockades. Our enemies are too dumb to outflank them. So we start the game with 10 gold. We can take these actions spending gold. So I can spend 2 gold. A minion gets -1. Temporary attack. I can spend 6 gold to place 3 temporary shield on the leftmost ally lane. So then when an ally comes in, they'll get it. I can spend 4 gold to flesh bait for metal prey. The outsider gets -2 on in play, and then -2 temporary attack, and then I can spend 3 gold to heal 5 from the castle, recruit 2, and then after we're done with all that, we're going to gain the gold at the bottom, which is going to be 28 gold. So I'm going to go ahead and do the recruit action, which is the main thing we're going to do to get cards. So I'm going to spend 3 gold, so 1, 2, 3, and it says recruit 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my deck of recruit cards, and I'm going to make 3 offers of 2 because we're recruiting 2, and I'm going to be able to draft those 2 set of cards. So I've got this set, or this set. When we draft them, they go on top of our deck, and then everything else goes on the bottom of this. And I think I'm going to take these 2. So we're going to take these 2. They'll go on top. These go on the bottom in random order. We're going to do it again. 1, 2, 3. I think I want those. And I'm going to do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to take those. Okay. So that's it. I'm not going to do anything more. We're going to get 28 gold, putting us at 29. So I'll put that there. And the reason and I'll set the scenario aside. So Dead Reckoning is set aside. We have our portal. Let's go ahead and just jump into it here. We're going to draw our 5 cards and do our mulligan. Now, the reason it's easier to track this here is because whenever we're pillaged, we're going to lose a gold. So because pillaging happens quite often, it's just easier to track it on this thing than use the spinner. But there is a spinner that it comes with. And the max gold you can have is 40, but the spinner goes up to 99. So I don't know. The spinner's weird. All right. So our opening hand, we're going to start with 4 mana. I don't think I want Living Relic. It's kind of too big. And I'm going to dump one of these Boreal Druids. So we'll draw up, and then we'll put these on. We'll shuffle these into our deck. I got a lot of kind of big mana people, so we'll figure it out. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We'll get our mana. It's going to put us at 4. Then we're going to play a card from here, and that's going to be Shade Hunter. After Shade Hunter is destroyed, after a neighbor of Shade Hunter is destroyed, it gains 1 health, and then it has Barrier, which means that the first damage it takes doesn't, it only takes 1 damage if it has none. And then we're going to do Reinforce 1, so we're going to give it to that person, and then this will rotate. Okay. So again, our goal is to take out the portal. Once the portal's taken out, we've won the first game. Okay, I might let him hit the deal here because I don't really want to be taking that damage. Or I want to start I need to knock the portal, and they've got 2 shield. Okay. So I think I got a lot of chunky people too, which is problematic. We could throw these in here, and then when it comes in, it'll trample. I mean, it's not going to do anything, but it'll clear that off the field, which could, well, no, it's at Barrier. So I need to ping it for something. Let's do it. We'll do 1, 2, 3, and we'll bring in the Boreal Dryad. And I have all the promo cards swapped in for the regular, so I have a bunch of full arts in here. After you remove 1 or more damage from an ally, Mutagen 1 Boreal Druid. Exhaust, remove 1 damage from a neighboring ally. Mutagen lets me add health or attack to the ally. We're going to bring in this guy. I think we'll spend our other mana for Vial of Fate. If the attached ally would be destroyed, set its health to 1 and discard this. So we're going to do that. Okay. All right. So we're going to call it there. Let's go ahead and reveal our treachery card for the turn. We have if the boosted. Okay, so it says if the boosted monster is engaged, move it to the rightmost lane. It is not engaged, so he's gonna hit for 2. The castle takes the damage. Oop, this should be this way. Sorry. He's gonna hit for 1. She's gonna hit back for 4. We take a damage. This is destroyed. We'll get to draw a card. Then they'll pillage 2 cards, so we lose 2 gold, and that'll be the turn. We'll unexhaust. We'll gain our mana. We'll reinforce 1, and then this will come out, and it's going to be an attachment. So Radamil minions get +2. Attach stone bombs to them. Attached minion gains pillage. Attached monster gains pillage. This pillages 3 cards and gains -1 attack. Okay, the Radamil are here. They get +2. Okay. All right. So let's spend 4. No, we'll spend 3 to bring in the Truth Preacher. It says another ally gains the same number of temporary attack and temporary armor as there are on the Truthsayer, and then Truth Preacher, and then has trample, so it'll go through on the castle. We're gonna exhaust to bring. Oh, let's go here actually. We're gonna exhaust to bring in. We'll bring in this one. Wait, is that what I want to do? Actually, hold on. Let's a small mulligan here. Okay. We're going to exhaust to move this over. We're going to play this here and exhaust to bring this into here. I could play Mace of Devotion. That's going to force us to strike each other. They'll take each other out. I think I'll wait because he doesn't have a fight ability, so I think we're gonna wait. So this gets rotated. Let's draw. The castle gets -2 damage. Okay, so he hits for 2. He hits for 2. She hits for 3. They take each other out. We're gonna draw a card. Hit directly for 4 on this. These 2 get pinged, and then 1, 2, and then 2 pillages, which loses us 3 gold. Sorry, 3 pillages. So those are gone. Okay. We'll unexhaust. These will flip back, and we will go into the next round. So let's gain our mana. It's going to put us at 5 mana. We're going to draw a card. It's going to be the Feathered Magnet. Play. Feathered Magnet gets +3 temporary defense. And then we're going to reinforce 1. So that goes there. Okay, I think we can just try to end this round. I'm going to end up losing a bunch of gold, but I think that's okay. The castle is my more important sort of thing at the moment. So I really need to get some stuff to just put some blocks, some stuff, basically. Let's do this. Let's use our castle ability so we can exhaust this and spend a mana to play a heroic ally from our discard pile. So we're going to bring Brylevar. So monsters within 1 lane strike Brylevar instead of an engaged ally or the castle, and has armor 3. So we're going to plop that onto him. He comes in exhausted and -3 attack, temporary attack, which he can't do anything with anyway, but we've done that. And then, yeah, we have to spend our 3 mana to bring him in. So we're at 1. I think if she swings for 4, that'll defeat the thing and we're good. So I think I'm going to call it there. I think that's fine. Okay, so let's do the treachery phase. Play, it says, okay, so this, oh, no, never mind. This gives +1 temporary attack to the Shade Hunter. The Shade Hunter is going to attack for 3, but then he takes it because of that. Because they're in with 1 lane. They'll attack for 4. He's defeated. So that was mostly just a way to soak up damage. And then they'll hit for 4, which is going to ping the 2 of this off. I didn't move this, by the way. And then this goes down to 0. And then we're going to pillage 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is going to lose us 1, 2, 3, 4 gold. But we have defeated the portal, which ends the first game in the campaign. So, game 1's over. So let's go ahead and we'll set up for game 2. So we're going to set those over here. Okay. So the castle's health stays where it is, and then our gold stays where it is, and then we'll reset everything else. So, just going to shuffle this up. All right. So this portal's removed. We're going to take another scenario. That portal's gone. We'll take this scenario, and then we have this as our first portal. So this is going to be set up as summon 4 skeleton tokens. Lovely. We have, and then our next, we have this as our outsider. So it's our temporary, or our minion outsider. It says at the end of Horde phase, reinforce 1, but that's when it's in play, I suppose, right? I think that's what that, I don't think that's I think that's just when it's in play. I don't think that text. Oh, no, it says they're active the whole game even when they're out of play. Okay, so that's something we have to consider. Okay, so through the void, at the start of the game, you may place the void gate in any lane. So this becomes the void gate, which is destroyed. Exile the engaged ally and earn 20 gold, so we can get a ton of money if we wanted to play this out. It doesn't do any damage, but it is 9 health, so it's going to take a while to knock down. So, wait, is this the right one? That's Fair Folk. I don't want that one. Oh yeah, I grabbed the wrong one. I'm sorry. That's not it. We're going to grab Undead Peace. We'll grab this one. Okay, summon 1 skeleton and 1 troop token. If the troop token destroys the outside of this game, you gain 10 gold. So we're going to need a troop token and a skeleton. That's the setup for this. Then we have, we can +2 gold, Grave Turmoil, pillage 2 cards, then look at the top 2 cards of the Horde deck, place any of them on top in any order, and any of them on the bottom in any order. We can lose 2 gold for the greater good. Each player must exile 1 card from the discard pile, then summon a wait, why do we have stuff in our discard pile? That seems weird. I don't know why we'd have anything in our discard pile. Each player must exile 1 card from their discard pile, then summon 1 troop token. I guess maybe I shouldn't have shuffled everything up already. And then we have Repair and Recruit. Remove 5 from the castle or recruit 2. Cards recruited this way must be placed on the discard pile instead of on top of the deck. Okay, so I guess that'll do it. So our we're going to spend 5. So I'm going to go down to 16 to heal the castle 5. I'm going to go down another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to recruit 2. We'll grab those 2. They'll go in the discard pile. And then we're going to recruit 2 again. For going down to 6. And I'm going to take these 2. They'll go there. These get put on the bottom. And then we're going to end. I'm done. So we're going to get 30 gold. So that's the end of that scenario. We'll put our troop in play. We'll put it there, I guess. And then the setup for this is summoning 4 of those. Okay, we've got our 2 there, and I think we're ready to go. So, like I said, this is going to be the outsider for the game, so when we defeat the first portal, we'll bring in the second portal, and then this will come into play. And then it says at the end of the Horde phase, we're going to reinforce 1, so it's just something to keep in mind. So let's go ahead and get started here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what we have in terms of our mulligans. We know we're going to... the castle's going to start with 6 health. So we know we're going to have 4 mana. So I think... It's a bummer that all these things are here. So I want to be able to take out a bunch of them as quickly as possible. So I think what we're going to do is keep those 2. We're going to discard this. Because I think wait, does the mulligan go into your discard pile and you shuffle your discard pile? I don't mulligan often. Discard any number of cards, then draw that many, then shuffle the discarded cards back into the deck. Okay, this will just get shuffled back in. I don't think everything does. Okay. Which I got the thing that I didn't really want, but that's okay. Alright. This is our starting hand. We're going to reinforce 1 for the reinforce number. We're going to turn that. Then at the end of the horde phase, we're going to reinforce 1 again. So we've done that. So let's go ahead and go into this. We'll spend our 4 mana. First, we'll bring this in. We can play to bless a neighboring ally. We're going to bless him. And then we're going to play the other 2. Is that what I want to do? That's fine. Actually, we'll play like this, and then we'll play this one to also bless this person, the 3. We'll do that. And then we're going to end the go. So now we have our treachery phase. He'll get +1. So he swings for 2. They attack each other. This is defeated. Tokens do not grant us any card draw, so we don't lose. We lose that. That's defeated. This is defeated. We take a damage, and then 1 hits the castle. Okay, and then we pillage 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 get pillaged. We lose 4 gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that should be it. So those get removed. This will get removed, and we will start our next turn. All right. So we're going to reinforce. Oh, well, let's get our mana. They're going to reinforce 2. We'll draw 2 cards. We have a spell. It says the 2 weakest minions charge right. Summon a horde card. So charging, if I remember correctly. To charge left to right, place the monster on the left and right without any monsters. So that they charge. So they charges right, and then this charges right. Then play another card. We get Howling Monolith on fight. Zephyr minions gain +1. It has taunt. That'll come in there. And then we play our second card, which will be the Metal Shell. The Radamills gain +1 and charge an ally. So the Radamills get +1. No allies can be charged because everything's there. And then everybody in the front line gets +1. Everybody gets +1 shield. Okay. Which is a little rough. All right, so that's a lot of stuff happening for us right now. Okay, so the question is how exactly we want to process all this. Because attacking this is going to kill this. We can't really do anything with that. That's not going to do anything. And it'll take the shield, but it's not going to really do anything. I'm going to move. Now, do I want to do that? The shield part really throws me off quite a bit here. And we'll rotate this. I could use this to kind of clear something. I'm not too concerned about these, but they're just in the way. This is gonna do 1 damage. This will do a damage. My main thing right now is like clearing out some of this stronger stuff. So I think what we're gonna do is we're going to exhaust her and move her here, I guess. We're going to spend all 4 for Raptured. Yeah. So he has Defender, which means he can't strike the portal directly, but when he's destroyed, we gain 2 mana. I think that's all we can do. They're going to die. Okay, we're just going to do it. So let's go ahead and Treachery card. We get +1 temporary attack down here, which is definitely going to kill her. Hits for 1. He hits for nothing. This takes this, and then they get +1. I think I gave. I don't know if I gave one for this. I think I didn't. And if I didn't, I don't know if I did or not. And I'll just give it to this one because I think I can't remember if I did or not, so I'm going to do that just in case. So that does that. These guys attack each other. They're both defeated. And then that's going to let me get 2 mana. And I get to draw a card. This hits for 1. This hits for 1 back. She's defeated. This hits the castle for 1. And then this guy hits for 2. She hits for 1. This takes, or 3, I guess. She's defeated. Okay. All my folks just got cleared. And then they're going to pillage for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which is going to bring me down 6 gold. Down to 26. Okay, so these will get undone. This goes back. This goes back. Nothing comes out this. Oh, let's get our mana. Nothing comes out this turn. Then we reinforce 1 because of this. Okay, I've got to hit this stinking castle here. But I really got to deal with all these folks. So we're going to spend 4 to bring in our devotee. Fight, an ally gains either 1 attack or 1 shield. Actually, we're going to do it this way, I think. We're going to exhaust this to move the troop here. And then we're going to spend 1 for Sea Altar. This is Sea Altar gets +2. Exhaust, remove 1 to remove a damage from an ally, a neighboring ally. So it has 2 charges basically. That's a lot of pillaging. Actually, I'm going to do a bit of an undo there. We're going to leave this here. We're going to place that there. We're going to bring her into here. We'll do it that way. And then I'll exhaust to bring in this one. Okay, I think that's it. I think we're good. Okay, treachery phase. The castle gets -2. Castle takes a damage. Nothing happens here. Nothing happens here. She takes 3. He takes 3. This is defeated. We draw a card. Castle takes damage. The castle's at 10 health now. And then we're going to pillage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Holy cow, I don't have very much left. And then I lose 7 gold, which puts me to 19. We'll do that. We'll rotate. Oh, no, we've already rotated. Okay. Okay. So we're going to gain our mana. Then we're going to play 1 card from here. The Radamil minions get +2, and then +2 temporary and charge the weakest ally. So the only ally they can charge. So the Radamil come in. I just cleared their stuff. And then we reinforce 1. We'll reinforce this one. We're cooked. We're cooked. I don't think there's anything in there. I just got too overwhelmed. Okay. We'll exhaust this to remove a damage from here. I mean, there's nothing I can really do because we have no cards left in our deck. And we just got overwhelmed with all of the reinforcing. Let's see. Maybe we can make this work. So the castle, I'm not too concerned about taking damage. This guy sucks because he keeps giving this dude a bunch of stuff, and I don't like that. And actually, he should have gotten another one of these. which means we would have done another card. We're going to spend 4 to bring this in. We're going to exhaust to bring this in. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can really do. Because they're going to pillage and we lose. Because if we go on, so we rotate this, this goes over, he gets +1. Castle takes a damage. This happens. He gets +1 again. Nothing happens here. She does 3, which gets rid of this, this, and this. He does 2, which takes her out. He does 1 to the castle, and then this is 5, and this is 6, so we get 2 mana. And then they're out, which is fine, except I wouldn't draw a card, but they're going to pillage, and we have no deck. We lose the game. Okay, well, that didn't go very well. But it at least should give you an idea of how the campaign is structured. I didn't even get past the stinking portal. So what would happen was if we had taken the portal out, and this is a tough one. This is a really hard one. What is it in the difficulty? I think Undead's like a medium, but it's like that is so hard to manage with so few cards in the deck. So there's a campaign book with lore, and there's some campaign like thematic scenarios. So Undead, yeah, is the intermediate. Which is, this is the portal for the undead. But the 4 summoning of the skeleton tokens is rough because I can't hit the castle. So if I destroyed the castle, then this would have come into as an outsider, and then we would have fought this. And that would have happened like normal. And then at the very end, had I gotten to the end, we would have fought the Rider of Death. So that's kind of how it works. You draft you basically have your deck set aside. You keep your base cards and your 2 heroic allies, and then you draft every time based on the stuff from the scenario. There are 2 scenarios per horde, so it's 24 scenarios. So there's a lot of scenarios, and you're going to be using 6 of them in the game, but you don't end up using this scenario. You use 6 of them per campaign, but you end up using this scenario for each one because some of them will become the outsider, the minion outsider. The thematic setup, so they tell you here. The easier campaigns tell you which horde decks to use, which alliances to use, and then you can choose which final outsider depending on like how you want to do it. And there's the easy, intermediate, to hard, and even harder. So there's some of those in there. And then the way it works is that you have only the 4 scenarios. It says for each pile, only take 2 scenario cards for the renegade before you choose the scenario and which henchman you use, but throughout the campaign. And it says resolve each scenario twice and fight both henchmen. So you'd only pick one. If I did the renegade campaign, you'd only use those 2 scenarios, and then you'd do everything twice. So that's how that works. The other thing the game adds, and I think this is probably more interesting, but because I feel like there's a lot of ambiguity with the rules, is that there's a limited format draft for recruiting. And the way this works is that, like in regular TCGs, like you would get booster packs and then make a deck with the booster packs. You can try this by taking 3, it says form a market deck, shuffling together any 3 decks of your choice, either pre-made or custom. I don't know how this works exactly because you would be taking, like to make the market deck, it needs to follow the restrictions of the castle. So the castle says 2 legendary. It'd be 2 legendary, so I guess I'd remove the 2 legendaries from the other decks. And then if I'm going to use any other colors, I would have to, like, I don't know if that also matters, so I'd have to remove a bunch of stuff, and I'm not totally sure how that works. So that is also this what we could do is a limited format, which I think is probably a little more interesting because you're almost deck building based on like certain stuff in the scenario instead of just using the pre-made or one color deck that you have a deck, and then you're building a deck to based on a thing. You could so that's probably the more interesting way to do it, but I wasn't totally sure. If you guys have any understandings of some of the ambiguities on this, please let me know, but that's the way I interpreted it. So that's campaigns. I didn't get very far, but I kind of want to show you sort of how it works. So again, the first game, you fight the portal, defeat the portal, that wins the first game. Second and third game, you defeat the portal, and then it brings in a minion outsider. When you defeat that, you win the game. And then the fourth game plays like a normal game where you defeat the outsider and you win the game. There is the base game comes with 4 portals here. So these are your 4 portals now that replace the original 4. And so after you defeat the first portal in the second and third game, you'd bring in the stage 2 portal here, because all of the all of the portals for each horde are stage 1 portals. So you'd bring in the next ones. But yeah, that's it. If you guys want to see more Skytear Horde, let me know. I do want to get into deck building, because now there are so many more cards to play with that I'd like to actually figure out the deck building a bit. So I may do some more of that if you guys want to see a regular playthrough or another campaign one that maybe involves a limited format. But I'm also not very good at the game either, so I don't know how well it's going to go. But that's going to be it. That's a little bit of an overview of how it works, and playing through a game and a half of the campaign. Obviously, we lost, so we lose the campaign. There's also, the nice thing is that this replaces the pre-existing rulebook, so it's just one rulebook. And everything that was added to this rulebook has this little line off to the side, so new keywords, new setup instructions, things like that end up being added that way. So it means it's really nice. So anyhow, that's going to be it for today. Oh, hold on. Wait, to build your horde deck in future games, choose one or more hordes to fight. So this lets you even mix and match hordes normally. Then form the horde deck using all the horde cards from the chosen horde that have the corresponding icons. Now shuffle those together. You've selected from the horde and place it within reach. Leave room for the next. Okay, yeah. So if you're mixing together hordes, you just take the things for that level and just use those. So that makes sense. That answers that question from the back of the book. All right. Anyway, that's going to be it. Let me know if you guys have any interest in more Skytear Hordes, maybe more campaign stuff. But I wanted to get this out and share it with you guys, because there's not a lot of content on the campaign mode itself I've been able to find. And so that's at least the way I interpret those rules. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you guys want to see some more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.